Hello everyone, this is Zach with the Aeong Show. I'm back with another K-pop video for you. This video is going to be a little different than normal, as you can see by the layout of the video. For this one, I'm going to be going through some of my favorite groups and just groups, I like to listen to. I have them here listed in a tier list for you, and we're going to go through the tier list from top to bottom, talk about all the groups, mention some of my biases, my favorite songs, and stuff like that, just so you guys can get a better idea of what my K-pop taste is and stuff like that. That way, if you're a fan of certain groups and you know that I'm a fan of certain groups, you can know that I'm going to talk about them at some point. So maybe you should subscribe. Idea. But yeah, as you can see, I have them listed out here in a few different tiers. We have my Ults Forever. Those are of course like my Ults, my number ones. Newer favorites. Those are kind of like the groups of the past 3-4 years that are kind of right there with my Ults. Right up there. Amazing groups. We have Love 'Em Lots. Those are groups over the years I've just become such a fan of. They've kind of rotated in and out of those top spots. And just love all the members, love their music, buy their albums, watch them on Variety and stuff like that. So all that. Then we have Always in Rotation. Those are groups where I like pretty much all their music. I know the members. They're just I don't follow them as closely as some of the other groups. And then we have casual listen. Those are just kind of some groups that I like a few songs or something, or some members. I just don't really follow them again really that closely at this point in time. And then timeless favorites. Those are just groups that over the years I've liked a lot, which again some of them are not as active anymore, or they're inactive, or I just don't follow them as closely as I did at one point. But I wanted to mention them as well. So yeah, we'll get into all these groups. But yeah, for now, let's start off with Ults, because those are, of course, the number one groups, the groups I'm going to probably talk about the most, I'll do the most stuff about. And, of course, 101, my number one, gfriend. They have been my favorite group since 2015, in and out with a couple other groups, but they've always just been at that top spot since then. I first saw them when they did Make Your Sis 2. I mean, I did see them technically before that. They performed on an OGN League of Legends finals for spring with Class B, but I wasn't fully paying attention at the time, so I didn't really realize that it was them until later on when I looked back at it. But yeah, Make Your Sis 2, saw it, and I was kind of blown away by the choreography, just because I'd never really, at that point in time, I'd only been a K-pop fan for about a year. So I hadn't really seen choreography of that style before, where it was so much movement, so much precision, so much synchronization, all the stuff they were doing. And of course, the music was so good. So I was like, okay, I need to know more about this group. And so then I started watching them on Variety and stuff like that. And, so they were so funny. I mean, all of them are just, they work so well together. And then of course, they don't really care that much about whether they look weird or something like that, especially Yuju, Yaren, Sinbi, they're willing to act more crazy on Variety and stuff like that. So that always drew me towards them. And of course, Sinbi is my bias in gfriend, my ultimate bias in all of K-pop. She's been forever almost. So yeah, Yaren's my second bias in gfriend. The two of them together, Sinrin, have just always been so funny. My favorite duo in K-pop. I mean, when I talk about gfriend, favorite best is usually going to come out of my mouth because that's what I think about them. Some of my favorite songs, I mean, Time for the Moon Night is my favorite K-pop song. There you go, favorite again. Rough, of course, classic. Crossroads, another one. Summer Rain, underrated classic. Rainbow, of course, as well. So many amazing songs. Then we have individual stuff like Yaren, Bom Bom Bom, one of my favorite songs from her. For Vivi's Maniac, of course, classic, my favorite song a couple years ago. For Yuju, my favorite song from her is still Love Rain, which is one of her first solo things she did back in 2018. But yeah, that's always just been one of my favorite. I love that style of song. So that's gfriend, my favorite group. Then we go to my next group, which is Fromis 9. They're a group that I've been a fan of since 2018. Kind of a similar situation of how they became one of my favorites as gfriend, where I first saw them on a music show. I was gonna go to KCON 2018 in New York, and I was like, okay, well, this Fromis group's going there. I'm just gonna check out one of their songs just to see what's what they're like. Saw the 22 Century Girls stage, was blown away by it. The song was amazing. Went on to become like that and Time for the Moon Night were like easily my two favorite songs of 2018, and they were like battling back and forth the entire time for my most listened to. But yeah, and then I saw them live, was blown away by them, seen them multiple times since then at K-Cons that they came to over the next couple of years before 2020 and all. Then they've just been one of my favorite groups since then. I've followed them extensively, watched like all their content, always supported their comebacks and stuff like that. Bought like most of their albums, of course, when money permitting. My biases in the group are Jihyun and Hayoung. Hayoung was kind of like my initial bias, and then Jihyun kind of like slowly over the years kind of like rose up the ranks to be there as well. Then favorite songs, 22 Century Girl, of course. Love Bomb, I mean, Love Bomb's like one of those all-time K-pop songs. So underrated, deserved so much more like hype and wins and all that stuff back then, but unfortunately, that was still in their like debut year. Airplane Mode, one of the best B-sides, similar kind of like vibe for me with 22 Century Girl. Glass Shoes, pre-debut song and still insanely good. Seeing that live, one of my favorite things. We Go, another one, classic. So yeah, Fromis, right up there. OT9 fan, of course. I support all the members, no matter what, whether they're acting, modeling, doing solo stuff, whatever. I'm gonna support them. Then after that, we get into Loona. Loona, I mean, what is there to say about Loona? Stan Loona, I've been a Orbit or even a Lunatic because I was a fan of Loona back in 2017. I had heard about them and seen some of their stuff like from like when Heejin first debuted, but I didn't really get into them fully until around like Odd Eye Circle debut, like when Cherry and Odd Eye Circle showed up. That's when I kind of like fully joined in and started watching all of Loona TV and stuff like that, following along when like Eve and Chu and Go On and Olivia Hay all debuted. So yeah, I've seen them a couple times as well. Seen them at KCON and seen them at their own tour. So yeah, I'm a big Loona fan. My bias is Hyunjin. She's crazy. One of those just like weird girls who's really funny and really talented. I love her voice. Around You is probably still my favorite Loona song. Like I could listen to that song a million times and never get bored of it. Of course, Lucemble and Artemis, and then all their solo stuff as well. I support all the members. Some more of my favorite songs from Loona are, let's see, we have Butterfly, Star, Paint the Town, Hula Hoop. I mean, all the solo stuff as well, like when they're like introducing each member, like so good. Like Heart Attack, Love Cherry Motion, Singing in the Rain, Eclipse. So yeah, so many good songs from Loona. Yeah, just been a fan of them since 2017 as well. So those are like my three like main groups I've just been with since forever. I mean, like a decade for gfriend, like 8 years for Loona, 7 years for Fromis. So like, yeah, I'm never gonna not be a fan of them at this point. So that's why they're in that separate tier by themselves.